Would you believe there are products that cost just pennies to make, but rake in billions every single year? Some of them you use daily, others you've probably never questioned. But behind the scenes, they're absolute money machines. These aren't just popular products. They're borderline scams when you look at the profit margins. Today, we're exposing the 10 most profitable items ever made. Number 1. Razor blade. You can get the razor handle almost for free. Some brands even give it away. But try buying a pack of replacement blades, and suddenly you're paying $20 to $40 for a few grams of metal and plastic. Razor blades cost mere cents to manufacture, yet the markup can hit a shocking 4,000%. Gillette famously popularized the razor and blades model. Give away the handle cheap, then profit off the consumables forever. It's psychological. Once you're locked into a handle, switching brands feels like a hassle. Companies exploit that loyalty. In fact, it's estimated that Gillette's razor business earns margins close to 50%, unheard of in traditional manufacturing. Imagine selling something for 50 times its production cost and doing it billions of times. Number 2. Printer ink. Printer ink is so ridiculously expensive, it's become a running joke, and it's no accident. A gallon of HP printer ink can cost more than $12,000, more than luxury perfumes, and even human blood. Ink cartridges cost manufacturers less than $1 to produce, but they're sold for $20 to $30 or more. And if you use the wrong brand, the printer refuses to work. This is intentional. Manufacturers use smart chips in cartridges to force you to buy their brand, often with built-in expiry dates. The real money isn't in the printer, it's in the refills. That $50 printer in the electronics aisle. It's a Trojan horse designed to trap you in a lifetime of ink purchases. Printer companies make over 80% of their profit from ink, not the hardware. This is capitalism at its most ruthless and profitable. Number 3. Mobile apps with microtransactions. What's free to download but costs you hundreds without you even noticing? Mobile apps with microtransactions. Games like Candy Crush, Clash of Clans, or Genshin Impact are technically free, but they thrive on tiny $0.99 and $1.99 purchases for coins, gems, or power-ups. And guess what? Those digital items cost nothing to reproduce. Once the app is coded, the marginal cost is virtually zero, but players spend billions annually chasing dopamine hits. In 2023 alone, mobile game microtransactions generated over $100 billion in global revenue. Companies like King and Supercell don't just make games. They print money with addictive loops, timers, and psychological design. One of the most profitable products ever created isn't even real, it's virtual. Number 4. Coca-Cola syrup. A can of Coke costs you maybe $1, but what's actually inside it? Just a few cents worth of syrup, some carbonated water, and branding. The syrup itself costs Coca-Cola less than 0.03 per can to produce, yet once it's diluted, bottled, shipped, and branded, that product is sold at a markup of up to 3,000%. What makes Coca-Cola one of the most profitable companies ever isn't the drink, it's the formula, distribution, and brand loyalty. The secret recipe is so guarded it's treated like a state secret, but the real magic is in the margins. In fact, Coca-Cola doesn't even own many of its bottling plants. It sells syrup concentrate to regional partners and takes royalties off the top. That's how a sugary drink became a $250 billion juggernaut. Number 5. Bottled water. Imagine taking something nearly free, putting it in plastic, and selling it for more than gasoline. That's bottled water. A standard 500 ml bottle of water costs manufacturers around 0.02 to 0.05 to produce, including the water, bottle, and label. But it's sold for $1 to $2, a markup of 2,000% to 4,000% the kicker. Most bottled water is just filtered tap water. Companies like Nestlé, Dasani, and Aquafina source their water from municipal supplies, run it through reverse osmosis, and slap a label on it. Bottled water has become a $300 billion global industry by monetizing one of the most basic human needs, water, in a branded, portable format. It's not just profitable, it's one of the most brilliant marketing scams in history. Number 6. Software license. Microsoft Windows, Adobe Photoshop, AutoSAD. These are digital tools that companies buy once and use for years, and the margins are astronomical. Once software is developed, the cost of duplication is almost zero, but customers are charged hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars per license. Even worse are or smarter. Depending on perspective, companies have moved to subscription models. Instead of buying Photoshop once, now you pay on $20 a month forever. The soft models, software as a service, ensures that customers are always paying. Microsoft made over $100 billion in profit in a single year, and software licenses are a key reason. There's no shipping, no factories, no warehouses, just code and pure profit. Number 7, luxury cosmetics. Luxury cosmetics often cost more for the brand than the actual product. That 120 face cream, it likely contains less than $3 worth of active ingredients. The rest is markup packaging, marketing, celebrity endorsements, and exclusivity. Brands like La Mer, Estee Lauder, and Dia make staggering margins on creams, serums, and lipsticks. In one infamous example, a luxury cream selling for over $300 was chemically identical to a drugstore product sold for under $20. But perception is everything. The packaging is ornate, the store lighting perfect, and the promise of youth priceless. Some cosmetics enjoy markups of 5,000% or more, all on the illusion of transformation. These aren't just products, they're dreams with a price tag. Number 8, greeting card. Greeting cards are emotional, but financially, they're brilliant. A 7,000 card often costs less than $0.11 to print. Hallmark and American Greetings make tens of millions annually from what is essentially ink on card stock. There's no technology, no moving parts, no perishables, just a short message and a decorative design. The emotional value far outweighs the production value. That's why customers rarely question the price. The true genius lies in occasion-based marketing, birthdays, anniversaries, condolences, holidays. There's a card for everything, and that creates year-round demand. With minimal overhead and huge volume, greeting cards have become one of the most overlooked profit machines in retail history. Number 9, eyeglass frames. If you've ever bought prescription glasses, you've probably been shocked by the price tag. But here's the truth. Eyeglass frames often cost just a few dollars to produce, yet they're sold for $200 to $500. Why? Because a handful of companies control the market. Luxottica, which owns Ray-Ban, Oakley, and LensCrafters, also manufactures the frames and controls the retail outlets. That vertical integration allows for massive price control. They dominate design, production, branding, and sales. The illusion of luxury or exclusivity drives the price. Even though the raw materials, dye, plastic, wire, and screws are cheap, with margins of over 1,000%, eyeglasses might just be the most expensive piece of plastic you wear on your face. Number 10. Digital subscriptions, streaming services, premium newsletters, and app subscriptions. They sneak into your bank account month after month. And the best part for the companies, you rarely notice. That $9.99 Netflix subscription or $12 Spotify membership feels small, but multiply it by millions of users and it turns into a river of recurring revenue. Digital subscriptions cost very little to maintain once the infrastructure is set up. There's no inventory, no shipping, just bandwidth and servers. Companies love this model because it's sticky. Once a user signs up, they rarely cancel. Automatic billing does the rest. Adobe switched from one-time licenses to subscriptions and instantly saw profits explode. These subscriptions are like money printing machines hidden in your email inbox. So next time you grab a bottle of water, print a document, or open a mobile app, ask yourself, what's the real cost here and who's really making money? Behind the simplest products are some of the most powerful profit machines in history. These aren't just business wins. They're masterclasses in psychology, branding, and consumer behavior. If this kind of business breakdown fascinated you, make sure to check out our next video on From Billionaire to Broke, Top 10 Richest People Who Lost It All. You won't believe who's really pulling the strings.